The total solar eclipse. For thousands of years, humans have been recording this awe-inspiring celestial event. Today, we'll get another chance when the moon crosses in front of the sun and completely blocks it out, sending part of the U.S. into darkness. Only a select area of the country will be in the path of totality that cuts across the U.S. from Texas into Maine.
In a matter of minutes, it will go from a sunny afternoon to total darkness. People all over the country have traveled to witness this rare and, for many, once-in-a-lifetime experience. Incredible, emotional, spiritual. All of the words people have used to describe what's about to happen. We are going to take you through this event minute by minute, showing you how people all over the U.S. are marking this momentous occasion.
Solar Eclipse 2024 is proudly brought to you by ACES.
Welcome to NBC Connecticut's special live coverage of the 2024 solar eclipse. We're so glad you're here with us. I'm Keisha Grant.
And I'm Kevin Nathan. I didn't get one of those jackets to work in with the color scheme. That works today, Keish. I hope you're going to enjoy our coverage. It's going to continue with us here and on our streaming channel and those tuning in on television. We're about to take you across the country and across Connecticut to witness a rare event, a total solar eclipse.
What a special day. After today, it's something we won't see here in the U.S. for another 20 years. Think about that for a moment. Over the next 2 hours, we'll be watching the path of totality go from Texas to Maine. Only areas in that narrow path will see the total solar eclipse, where the moon will completely block out the sun.
And we're going to take you live along that path today. Chief Meteorologist Ryan Hanrahan is in Dallas, Texas. Meteorologist Bob Maxson will be in Lake Placid, New York, but we'll also be taking you live to Little Rock, Arkansas, Carbondale, Illinois, Indianapolis, and Holton, Maine. That's the last place in the United States out of the whole country that will experience the solar eclipse that we're so excited to see today. And we've got you covered across the country and across Connecticut, Keish.
Here in Connecticut, Kevin, our crews are across the state seeing how you are experiencing this moment. Kevin Geis is in stores where UConn is holding a watch party today. Jolie Sherman is at the Talcott Mountain Science Center in Avon with Snow Monster. And Jackie Post is in Middletown, where the Wesleyan University's astronomy department is holding a watch party today. Also, we've got meteorologist Anthony Carpino in the NBC Connecticut Barnyard studio to help us all understand the science behind what is happening today, the science behind this phenomenon.
And it's not just science. We need a good weather day today on some level. So let's start with meteorologist Anthony Carpino, because Anthony, cloudy weather today could really affect people's ability to get sort of the full effect of the eclipse.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, guys. The clouds are going to make or break today as you're heading out the door. Right now, at least here in West Hartford, we still have sunny skies, but those clouds, well, they are starting to move in. We've noticed some high, thin cirrus clouds that have started to move overhead, but I do want to start off with a wide look at the country right now. Across the eastern half of the country, we're not the only ones that are seeing those clouds start to move into the region. Let's go ahead and look at that map right now, where we do see those clouds stretching across a good majority of the country. One of those places I want to zoom into is going to be in Houston, the Dallas area, where they actually have some of those clouds overhead. You actually can end up seeing that path of totality that will stretch, like you guys mentioned, from Texas all the way into the Northeast and eventually ending in Maine here in the U.S., but continuing on into Canada. So let's take a closer look at the Texas area right now. And we do see that path of totality going through the Dallas area. That's where we find Storm Tracker meteorologist, Chief Meteorologist Ryan Hanrahan. He's there. They've been dealing with a few patchy clouds today up in sections of New York. Well, that's where we have Bob Maxson. He's also seeing those clouds get a little bit closer. But even with those clouds, they're in for a fantastic show. We're talking about, for them at least, darkening of the sky. Now, it would be great if we saw complete sunny skies for them. but they will still get a good show regardless. For us here in Connecticut, we are expecting about 92% of the sun to be covered by the moon. Now that means it won't get completely dark here. We'll notice it getting a little bit dimmer. The temperatures will drop by a few degrees, and then things will become a little bit more bright as the eclipse wraps up here by about 4:37. So it's going to be a fantastic next couple of hours. If you don't have them already, grab your eclipse glasses. You want to be using those the entire time if you're looking at the sun here in Connecticut. And if it's not during totality, you want to make sure you have those eclipse glasses on as well. A couple other things that you can do. You can also have a pinhole projector. We made those a couple of times throughout the week. You can use one of those to indirectly look at the eclipse. And there's a whole bunch of other things that you can use to help see the event today. We'll talk more about that coming up over the next couple of hours. For now, guys, I want to send things back over to you.
Anthony, thanks. So much excitement around here today. We want to see certainly how you out there are viewing the eclipse, whether it's at a watch party or maybe right in your backyard. Please send us your pictures or videos by tagging NBC Connecticut on social media, where you can email them to share@nbcconnecticut.com. Make sure to include just a brief, short little description with it.
You may even see them here on the air as we follow this great event. And if you have any questions about the solar eclipse, and quite frankly, Kev, who doesn't have questions, right?
Lots of them.
Yeah, well, send those to us. Again, tag us on social media, and we will get right to work getting your questions answered. Let's start our live coverage in Texas, though. That is where the solar eclipse will begin its path through the U.S. Totality in Dallas is just about 35 minutes away.
Talk about questions. This guy has answers, Keith.
Yes,
she has been so amped up for this for months. Chief Meteorologist Ryan Hanrahan is at the Perot Museum of Nature and Science, where they're holding a big event for the eclipse. Ryan, what's going on there right now?
Well, all eyes are on the clouds, guys, because here in the path of totality, we want to get the clouds to clear out. Now, what has happened in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so is, as expected, temperatures have begun to drop. It's gotten noticeably cooler here as the moon is beginning to block the sun. I'm going to put on my solar eclipse glasses here. My photographer, Jose, put on a filter on his camera so you can see what we're looking at here now. So as we pan up, you can see a pretty good chunk taken out of the sun there by the moon. It's coming in from the right. It's moving from right to left there. And if you look closely, you can see a few little wispy clouds moving in front of it. But if we're able to keep the clouds at bay like this, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape for the eclipse. That's about total solar eclipse. That's about a half an hour away. And guys, one of the things that is just so cool about something like this is that we have met people from all over the country and all over the world that have come into the path of totality. And it's one of the few days where everyone in the United States can sort of rally around one thing and can have a shared experience, and that is an eclipse and science and just how amazing our solar system is. And it almost makes you feel sort of small in the world, in the solar system, that we have this incredible sight going on right now. So as temperatures drop here in Dallas, we're hoping that these clouds will continue to dissipate. We've got these little cumulus clouds that are around, and cumulus clouds form when there's warm air at the ground that rises. You get these clouds to begin to pop up. Now, as temperatures drop, once you start to get the moon to cover the sun, you get less radiation from the sun, and those clouds tend to dissipate. So we got a few out here right now, but we're hopeful that we're going to get a pretty good show coming up in just a little bit. I want to send things out to meteorologist Bob Maxon. He is up in Lake Placid. And Bob, we're battling the cumulus clouds here in Texas. You've got some cirrus clouds up there. How do things look right now?
Hey, Ryan, it's great to see you. And I'm so happy that your low clouds have kind of parted and you're just dealing with the scattered cumulus clouds. Here, it's a really thin veil of cirrus clouds. So I think we are in great shape. And right now, we're 3 to 7 minutes from that first contact when the moon just starts to take a little bite out of the sun. So people are starting to get a little excited. Now, Ryan is at the Science Museum there, and it's a big deal, right? I mean, there's music and thousands of people. Here in Lake Placid, I'm at the Whiteface Club and Resort, and it's, instead of having a big festival, we have groups of friends. We have groups of friends and families. We have people celebrating birthdays on one side of me, and everyone's just kind of getting ready. It's more of a kind of a spiritual thing instead of like a big party, and it's really quite cool, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing totality here with my new friends. I have new friends from all over the Northeast. Many of them have residences here at the Whiteface Club, and it is such a picturesque place. place to be for this. I mean, as I look off to the left of the camera, and we'll show this to you later in the afternoon, we have Whiteface Mountain sitting over the beautiful, Lake Placid is gorgeous. We're about 5 minutes out of town where it is a real festival, a real party. But we thought this might be a really cool way to just take in the solar eclipse of 2024 and just kind of enjoy really how it's just how science and how nature changes during totality, and I cannot wait. This is my first, and by looking at the calendar, probably my only chance for totality, unless I'm going to travel somewhere else in the world. So to have totality right here in upstate New York, where I'm from, oddly enough, is really quite special. I have some family members who are up on the golf course here, and they're watching it and celebrating totality themselves. But it's just really kind of, I'm more excited than I thought I would be. As I've been up here for a couple of days, you really get this vibe of energy, and I can't wait, because in a couple of hours I'll be able to turn. I got my glasses, and I'll be able to turn and watch totality, and we'll see darkness overspread this region. And we are in right in the center of totality. For over 3.5 minutes, we will be dark, and we're going to be looking for things like the possibility of a 360-degree sunset, and that's what one of the phenomenons that happens, and that would be amazing up here in the mountains. We're also going to be looking off to the left of the sun to see the comet that you can't see with the naked eye, but once you take away the bright sun and energy from the sun, we'll be able to see a comet and some other planets, and all of this is just going to be amazing. Of course, we'll see how nature responds to animals and birds, and they'll roost thinking that it's sunset, right? It's time to go to bed, right? And instead, we'll see the reverse when the totality ends and we start heading back toward normalcy. So we are up here live in Lake Placid, and it is just we're on the cusp. Ryan already has that chunk of the sun missing. We're about a minute and a half away from first contact, according to my computer, and I can't wait to turn with my glasses and see this begin. So with that in mind, Kevin and Keisha, we'll send it back to you.
When you think about the fact, Bob, that this will be your first eclipse in totality, the fact that you're at home and in that beautiful, serene environment, are you prepared for the overwhelming feeling that your senses are about to get?
You know what, Keisha, that's a really interesting question, because how do we know? We've never experienced this, so how do we know how we're going to react? I've been trying to prepare a lot of folks here about what they can expect, from a science angle. But what about emotions? What about spirituality? And what about the fact that, like Ryan said, we're so tiny. We're so tiny in this solar system, in this universe, and today everything lines up perfectly. And just on a weather note. All right, if you've spent any time in northern Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, upstate New York, western and central New York, you know that April is really quite cruddy. It is cloudy, it is damp, it is dreary. Up here, they call it mud season for a reason. Earlier last week, we had a foot of snow on the ground here. In the last 2 days, almost all of that snow has melted away. That's the definition of mud season. Climatologically speaking, 77% of April ACE are considered overcast. So we're sitting here. I have sunscreen on because we've been out here for hours, and the snow is melting away, and we just have this thin veil of cirrus cloudiness. So we are in a great spot for all of this. But to answer your question, Keisha, I really do not know how I'm going to react.
And Bob doesn't even realize, Keish, that shot we're seeing with you, Bob, was totality, or at least partial totality, in part of Mexico there. Ryan, I want to bring you back in. You talk about the temperature drop. You guys are so good at forecasting. What is the disparity in Dallas for warmest to what the coldest will be today? And I'm curious for Bob, too, but we'll start with you, Ryan. How big of a temperature drop are we talking about?
Well, we can already feel it, so I'm guessing we've probably dropped about 3 or 4 degrees already, and we'll probably get down to about 8 degrees where we were. So we were expecting a high of around 80. We're going to go, I'd say, into the low 70s when we get to totality. And to sort of piggyback off what Bob said and what you asked, Bob, Kevin, and Keisha, one of the things, I was in Charleston, South Carolina for the 2017 eclipse. I was in totality there. And what struck me the most was that it was one of the few things that really sort of wows every single one of your senses. You see something that you've never seen before. You hear birds sort of going nuts in the middle of the afternoon. You can feel, like to the touch, you can feel the breeze kicking up and temperatures getting cooler. And it's really hard to describe. It's it's almost creepy in some ways. It's a little eerie, but it's also awe-inspiring and magical. And I'm super excited for Bob to get to do this for the first time. When I did it in 2017, I was excited for it, but I don't think my expectations were not like through the roof. And then after I went through it, I thought that was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was with a lot of people who are not meteorologists, and they were like, Ryan, you're such a geek. I can't believe you're dragging us all to South Carolina for this, to see the moon. And they were all just like jaw dropped, like, whoa, what just happened? So it's going to be great, and we just need these clouds to keep going away. We're looking okay. I think we're going to be in good shape. But Bob, what is the feeling up there in Lake Placid from the people that you've seen? I imagine you've seen people come from all over the place to try to get there. What do you think people are most excited about?
You know what? It's the unknown, Ryan. It's the unknown they're excited about. I get a total sensation of that in chatting with all these folks here at the resort, is that they really don't know what to expect. Just like you were saying, all of their senses will be touched. The sense of the colder temperatures, the breezes, the darkness, the sounds, everything. And I think I'm most excited to experience my unknowns with others who have never experienced it before. There were a couple people I chatted with yesterday who have been to other parts of the world during totality. Some of them traveled in 17 and said, you don't even know what you can't even prepare yourself for what you're going to experience. So around here, as I mentioned earlier, downtown, it's a party. Right, downtown's 5 miles away. In Dallas, festival, party atmosphere. Here, it is so cool to see families and friends, and now everyone's starting to look up because we've reached first contact here. So we're starting to see a little bit of that sun become obscured by the moon, and it's so far so good. And let me just check it out myself here. Let me get my glasses on, and oh yeah, we got it's only a couple percentage of the sun disk from the lower right side, or the western side of the sun is starting to become obscured. And as we get a little deeper into it, we'll do the same thing Ryan did. We'll get that filter on, and we'll show you a live picture of what's occurring here in Lake Placid. Back to you guys.
We're looking forward to that. And of course, we are being told that the eclipse has started here in Connecticut. We're going to get to Anthony Carpino coming up shortly to get the latest on that. But you know, our team of Storm Tracker meteorologists, as you see, they're fanned out across the country for the solar eclipse. Anthony, Bob, Ryan, we will come back to all of you in just a moment. What a special experience.
Sure
there
is.
We want to check in now with our other crews across the state.
And as we do, just for context, because maybe you're just paying attention to all this now, the eclipse has begun here. It's a partial eclipse in Connecticut. We haven't had a total eclipse here since 1925. We won't have another total eclipse in Connecticut until the year 2079. In any given place on the planet, it's about once every 400 years you get a total eclipse. So that's why it's so special for people today.
Absolutely. We're expecting 92% today here in Connecticut. And Anthony is going to tell us more about what we can expect out of that. Also, Kevin Geis.
Yep.
NBC Connecticut's Kevin Geis. He's joining us live now on the UConn campus in Stores, where there's a viewing party for this very rare event.
Yeah, Kev, set the scene for us. How are folks gearing up? Well, there's a basketball game tonight, but for now, for the solar eclipse.
Yeah, Kevin, Keisha, it's the solar eclipse first. And it might not be a total solar eclipse, but as you can see behind me, there is still a lot of action up here. People are just flowing up Horse Barn Hill, excited to see the eclipse, excited to see, what this has to offer and experience what 90% coverage looks like. I'm joined by Professor Jonathan Trump. You're with the physics department, but you're also an astronomy professor. So to start, I'll ask you the hardest question right off the bat. What is an eclipse and why is it so special?
Yeah, so today we have a solar eclipse where the sun and the moon line up just right. The moon blocks the light of the sun from reaching us here on the Earth. Yeah, so when this happens, it only happens along a narrow path of the Earth. We are lucky here in Stores, here at Yukon on Horsebarn Hill. We're going to have 92% occultation. 92% of the sun will be blocked by the moon today.
Absolutely. And you have so many people you've invited here to come view this with the university community. But tell me a little bit about what you folks are planning, why you're so excited, and what you are hoping people get a chance to see.
Yeah, so a solar eclipse like today, it's just a wonderful event in our natural world. You know, it's an unusual thing. It's quite rare. You know, the next time we're going to have an eclipse here in Connecticut that's going to cover up as much of the sun as today is 2079. Right, so mark it on your calendars. Yeah, so I'm just really, really excited to share my love of space, my love of celestial phenomena with everybody here at UConn.
And this is something we've talked about before, but having sort of a community viewing party like this, so you've mentioned that there really is nothing like enjoying sort of a celestial anomaly like an eclipse. Talk to me about what this means for folks who maybe aren't scientists and are just here to enjoy something that you love so much.
Yeah, so my favorite part of a day like today is just everybody getting together and enjoying the science, right? That's what this is. This is physics, right? It's the Earth revolving around the sun, the moon revolving around the Earth, you know, and just all lining up to a very, very special event. Yeah.
And you brought some tools here, I see, as well, something to view the eclipse, and you have your eclipse glasses. Of course, it's always safety first if you're watching it at home. Talk to me a little bit about what this equipment is. It's so simple, but it's something that allows people to safely view the eclipse.
Absolutely. So the very most important thing to say is do not look at the eclipse with your naked eyes. You will leave permanent damage on your eye. Avoid that, absolutely. Yeah, so I have a pair of eclipse glasses. You know these work if you look through them and you see nothing except for the sun. All right, so there we go. Yep, and I can see the eclipse has already begun here in Connecticut, just a little chunk of the lower right of the sun being eaten away by the moon. I also have a very easy, simple tool right here, a pinhole box camera, right? So just cut out a hole for your eye, put some aluminum foil. I like it because it's thin, makes a nice pinhole instead of a pin tunnel. Line up that hole with the sun, and you'll see a nice projection of the sun in the back of your box. Very safe and easy way if you don't have a pair of glasses like this.
Absolutely. Something safe and easy, always exciting. Now, we'll be back with you in just a little bit to talk to some more science, some of the phenomenon that come with an eclipse. But we're going to go check in with a lot of people around here and see how they're feeling as the moon just ever so slightly is starting to cover the sun. For now, we're live here in Stores. Kevin Geis, NBC Connecticut News. Kev, Keisha, we're going to send it back to you.
Proof that we are all in for such a treat.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting an afternoon science class from Professor Trump at UConn. Kevin, thank you. We'll see you in a bit. Let's head to Avon now. The Talcott Mountain Science Center and Academy is holding a solar eclipse festival called A Bit of the Sun.
And that is where we find NBC Connecticut's Jolie Sherman joining us. And Jolie, we see you're standing by with our very own snow monster. What's going on there? Oh, decked out in his
Kevin,
solar
Keisha.
glasses.
Yeah, it is. You are absolutely right. You can really feel the energy and excitement in the air here at the Science Center. And we are told that about 250 people will be here to watch the eclipse, to witness a really cool event in nature. And we couldn't leave Snow Monster out of it. As you mentioned, he is wearing his solar eclipse glasses, and it can't be stated enough. In order to safely view the sun during the eclipse today, these solar eclipse glasses must be on. I'm going to take a look at the sun right now, and as we've mentioned, the eclipse has started. We are really starting to see the moon move across the sun's face. It is all so cool. So we are ready with our glasses. Snow Monster is ready with his, and so is the Nordy family. They have their glasses in hand. We're joined by Marcia and Everett today. Everett, you go to school here, which is so fun and cool, and you have your glasses ready to go. Can you put them on your face for us and tell me what you're seeing?
I'm seeing a little bit of the sun disappearing.
Yeah, where do you see the moon kind of move? Is it in the bottom right corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of cool, right? What is this? Are you excited about today? What does today mean to you?
It means a lot of excitement.
Yeah, and Marcia, you came all the way from Idaho to see your grandchildren and also be here on Eclipse Day. How does today make you feel?
Fortunate. It's very exciting to be here for their spring break, and this is happening. And I actually saw the one in 2017 in Idaho, which was a total eclipse. So
that's cool.
I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time.
That's great. Oh, you're just catching these eclipses as they come. That's wonderful. Again, the eclipse has already started. This is such a cool event. As you know, that Connecticut isn't in the path of totality, but we do know that the moon will cover most of the sun. It is so exciting, and so much is going on here today in the Science Center. We have crafts inside. You can see people have already made themselves comfortable. They've set up lawn chairs. There's food trucks here too, all to bring in a really exciting day, Eclipse Day. For now, live in Avon, Jolie Sherman, NBC Connecticut News.
Jolie, thank you. And what we love to see, I know it's gorgeous.
It really is.
Love to see the people coming out. Love to see everyone, right? Not just the children, getting a lesson here as you check out this camera of the eclipse. And this is partial here. This is in Arkansas. Looks like Russellville. What a gorgeous view.
I don't know how you got your jacket to match that color. That is amazing.
Well,
seriously,
you know,
spot on.
In anticipation of.
I think you're playing this a little bit.
Just a little. We do want to take you to Middletown right now, where Wesleyan University is holding a viewing party with Russell Library.
Our colleague Jackie Post joins us live from Wesleyan. Jackie, what's the scene like where you are in Middletown?
Well, hi there, Kevin and Keisha. It is such a scene here. I can't even tell you. It seems like it's the same theme throughout all of our live shots, and that is that there's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy here. People really did not mess around when they came out. There are people in lawn chairs. They have snacks. They have tables, you name it. And they were actually earlier playing a solar eclipse mix. So it was a combination of sun, moon, and solar songs, which was really cool. Got everybody in the mood. Joining us right now to talk more about what's happening here is Asmain. He is actually in charge of this event, and he is a postdoc researcher here at Wesleyan. Asmain, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
So tell me a little bit about what's going on here today and what people can expect.
So today we have a really great event. We have 4 solar telescopes out here that people can look through with solar filters. Definitely do not look at the sun with your naked eyes. A lot of people here are wearing solar eclipse glasses, which help protect their eyes and allow them to observe the eclipse. The eclipse will last between 2:30 and 4:30 today, and we have lots of other activities as well. We have hundreds of people here today, and we have the Russell Library is giving out books to check out, astronomy books. And inside the observatory, we also have a planetarium, and we are also streaming the eclipse live from NASA TV as well.
That's so great. Now, I know that this was actually listed on NASA's website as one of the best places to view the eclipse, so that's pretty exciting for you guys. What's it like studying all these years astronomy and then to have this event happen?
Oh, it's it's almost like a spiritual kind of experience. It's to see with your own eyes, the wonders of nature. This eclipse is pretty amazing, because the next total eclipse that you'll see from New England will be in 2079. So we're very fortunate to be able to see this eclipse right now.
All right, Asmain, well, thanks so much, and have fun. Enjoy it, because it's certainly exciting for you. As I mentioned, this is actually listed on NASA's website as one of the locations that is best to view the eclipse, and it really is a prime location. You've got this big open field so people can sit and enjoy, and obviously this historic observatory as well. So people are getting very excited. One woman next to us actually just said, "Oh, wait, I just looked through my glasses and you can see it starting." So they are definitely waiting and super excited. Back to you guys.
What afternoon class at Wesleyan? I think everyone's kind of blowing that off, right, Jackie? All right, Jackie Post live for us in Middletown. I think they have the day off.
They're allowed to today. Everyone keeps mentioning the glasses, and we have to mention that the solar eclipse glasses.
Let's rock them. Let's see what you got here.
Well, they are thousands of times darker.
Really?
1,000 times darker, yeah, than regular sunshade. So
what happens when you look at them in here? Do you see?
Well,
you
go ahead. You don't see anything.
Oh, really?
But you will hear often throughout our coverage, don't you dare look at the sun without proper protection, and this is why. So either make the pinhole projector, or you have to have solar eclipse glasses. It's so important for the health of your eyes.
And beyond the incredible view of the solar eclipse is kind of how it changes our surroundings.
Absolutely. Ryan mentioned this from Dallas, Texas. The sun is our main heat source, so when it gets blocked out, it gets cooler. Here in Connecticut, 92% of the sun will be blocked out. We've seen this in past solar eclipses. Meteorologist Darren Sweeney has a look.
So we have learned how and why a solar eclipse happens, but when we block out our heat source, the sun, even for a short time, does it impact our weather? The answer is a resounding yes. Losing the sun, even partially, can have big impacts on our local weather conditions.
The sun, it is what drives the Earth's climate. Wind patterns, storms, rainfall, evaporation, clouds are all driven by the heat that comes from the sun. And when the sun gets blocked by the moon's shadow, it begins to change your local weather. Even though the sun is blocked for only a short time, the temperature, especially in places that see the total eclipse, can drop some 4 to 10 degrees. Let's take the 1994 annular eclipse as an example. These observations were taken by meteorologist Bob Hart, a weather observer in North Branford. The numbers tell the story. At 12:15 p.m. at the start of the eclipse, the temperature was 69.1 degrees. At 1:05 p.m., the temperature dropped to 66.4 degrees. And by 1:39 p.m., when the moon's shadow covered 85% of the sun, the temperature bottomed out at 61.9 degrees. That's just over a 7-degree drop in temperature. And notice how the numbers rise quickly once the sun returns, back to 67 degrees by 3 p.m. And since temperature is one of the main factors that influence wind, local changes in wind direction and speed have also been observed from past eclipses. A change in temperature can have an impact on cloud formation. Cumulus clouds, for example, are fair weather clouds which form by changes in temperature in the atmosphere. Remember that drop in temperature we just talked about? Take a look at this satellite loop taken during the 2017 eclipse. As the sun goes away, notice how the clouds dissipate and the skies clear, even if just temporarily. The clouds reform once the sun returns.
As you can see, all the elements that make up our weather are connected and driven by the sun. So not only will you be able to see changes in light, now you know you'll be able to feel change in our weather. Happy viewing. Darren Sweeney, NBC Connecticut News.
Happy viewing. And you know, we touched on this, but we can't stress it enough. Eye safety. It's so important during the eclipse because while it may be a visual wonder, fact of the matter is it could harm your sight. Always have those eclipse glasses when viewing it. The only time you can take them off is if you're in the path of totality and for those brief minutes when the sun is completely blocked out. And don't try to shoot it with your smartphone because you could damage the lens. According to NASA, the larger, faster lenses that get better resolution could be susceptible to damage. They recommend using a solar filter, which is what is on all of our cameras.
And as we mentioned, when it comes to our state here in Connecticut, we won't be in the path of totality today, like 92%. But it has been nearly 100 years since we were in the path of totality. You got to go back to January 24th of 1925. In fact, Keach, I think we'll both be retired the next time we have totality in Connecticut, May 1st, 2079. Take a look here at some pictures from the day as folks stopped what they were doing to check out the incredible sight from Willimantic. The path of totality that day divided New York City. A total eclipse was only visible above 96th Street, and a partial eclipse was visible farther downtown. Wow. And the last time the state saw an eclipse this big, you got to go back to 1994, 30 years ago. 85% of the sun was covered by the moon. People stocked up on their glasses, and schools across Connecticut threw viewing parties. The last time we had a total eclipse so close to Connecticut, you got to go back to March 7th, 1970, when totality moved across Nantucket.
Folks, we are walking you through history today, and we're so glad that you're along for the ride for this event. We're getting closer to totality in Dallas, Texas, the largest city that's going to be in the path of totality today. That is where our live team coverage of this great event will go next. Yeah, we're really just getting started. The good stuff hasn't even happened. And before that, we're going to take a quick pause. Our coverage of the solar eclipse continues right after this.
The Yard Goats are back